Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Delve Requisite here on Proficiency Bonus. It's Tuesday night. We return. We tried to get Jason to take those sunglasses off before we went live. He won't do it.
Bullying didn't work.
As
we have
we like to say around here, boy, what an unfortunate day to have eyes.
Yep.
Because you've had to see this. This episode of Delve Requisite is brought to you by our lovely Proficiency Bonus sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. You can type !Little Dragon or !C
CG.
CCG.
Yes.
It was pointed out to me. It was pointed out to me recently that I say it wrong every time, and now I have like a phobia about it. !
Well, it's because the CGC is the people who grade comics.
Oh yeah, that's right. CCG.
Okay, we have somebody who did a bad job of typing the exclamation point in the chat. Anyway, thank you to both of them. Little Dragon Corp, fine purveyor of dice and other tabletop gaming goods, and Cardboard Castle, a brick and mortar RPG and gaming store located here in the United States in Georgia. But of course, you can order things online from them as well. If you want to buy something from Little Dragon Corp, you can use our code PROBONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. Let us dive right into it. We return. The Fool's Errant, following up after what they thought was the end to quite an ordeal in the town of Diamondvale, hometown of Walter Gray, one of the party members. They discovered that after saving a group of miners from a flooded mine tunnel, one of the miners revealed that they had found in the tunnel, shortly before the cave-in that caused the flooding, they found what the party was able to identify as a hex bag. A hex bag exactly like ones that they had seen in the home of one Granny Josephine, a strange hermetic woman living out in the woods in the outskirts of town that had been for generations providing magical favors and deals with the town at their own peril.
Like you do.
Like you do. Like one does.
Like you do. Yep.
Determined to see Granny pay for these crimes, and unclear on the motivations behind flooding a tunnel only to help save those trapped in the flood, other than perhaps just the joy of spreading misery, and they think maybe trying to get the party to do her dirty work for her in killing a water naga that was defending some sort of an underground ancient structure located beneath the shifting stone of this mountain stream fed lake. They have rushed out to the location of this lake to find the granny's house floating on the water on a bed of lichen and moss and other plant debris, with the granny nowhere to be seen. However, when Osrius and Alar dropped onto her house, they triggered some sort of a defensive spell, which brought forth an enormous swarming mass of black ravens, which began to attack them, and apparently alerted the granny from below, who burst up from out under the water beneath the crevasse that contains the Naga's lair, whipping past a spell that Walter had set to lie in wait, and erupting out into the air, where she promptly ripped off her babushka level of shawls and robes to reveal that she is the most jacked, beefed up, shredded, ripped, cut up, jacked, monstrous protein hag that anyone has ever seen, and she is here to rumble. We are in initiative. I have it saved from last week. Right. The hag had just taken her turn, using a double movement, a dash, to get up out of the water and out onto the surface to engage you guys. So that completes her turn. Oh, let me do something real quick. Gotta bring a little bit of thunder to this. I apologize, chat, for the video for a second. I want to do something real quick.
I feel like we're waiting on a single bolt of cartoony sounding thunder, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't even want to say. It's patient.
There's music playing. If you guys can't hear it, that's probably because you have a group about Devon or something.
Possible.
Yeah, I hear it.
All right, let's put everybody back in place. Okay. So, with the completion of Granny Josephine's turn, that is going to bring us to Alar.
Oh boy.
On the roof of the house currently, you guys are being harried by this swarm of ravens, which I have down here, but are realistically like on you guys, basically. And the hag is flying about 20 feet above the water level, standing on top of this long length of gnarled gray wood that she had been carrying like a staff when she burst up out of the water.
I grab a feather from one of the fallen birds. And I say, man, she never skips leg day, does she? And cast Hideous Laughter. So wisdom save.
Okay.
Yep. I do not expect this to work.
What is your save?
14.
She goes... she looks at you as you cast this spell. She looks at you and she cocks a head and she like crunches her knuckles and flexes and she goes, "Did you really think that was going to work on me? Did you just try to cast a..." And she begins to cackle insanely.
I can't tell if it worked or if she's just being real dramatic right now.
Well, she's not falling prone, so I don't think it worked.
No, actually. She falls like... She's still on the staff, but she falls like, poof, kind of like flopped over it. These like huge muscly like arms kind of like flailing and kicking as she like cackles. You got her. It seems that it worked. She seems to burst into this like this insane laughter. Anything else?
Holy crap! It worked. Nope.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to Walter.
I think I had surfaced. I don't remember exactly if I was. I was like,
I believe.
Yeah. I think my water breathing potion's still active for a while, so
you should. You guys have almost a full hour.
Yeah. So I'm going to watch her erupt out of the water. Vaguely hear Alar say some kind of terrible pun, and then she starts dying laughing. So she can just die more, and I will Eldritch Blast her a couple of times.
Alright, roll the hit.
I hope that's not a problem. Weird question.
Yes.
Is she considered prone?
She is considered prone.
So it's ranged attack at disadvantage. Two beams at disadvantage.
I need her to be prone.
Well, the first one's a 24.
That will definitely hit.
And the second one's a 10.
10 will not hit.
Okay, so the lower of those first two was a 10.
10 damage?
No. Because I had to roll at disadvantage.
Oh, I see. So the lower is a 10, which is what to hit? Is it a 10 total?
So the lower of the first one is 10 total.
Okay, so that will miss.
Okay, and the lower of the second one is 12.
Also will miss. Fire off these two Eldritch Blasts. They streak past her. And she presents kind of a, even though she's beefed up, she's now like sort of lengthwise out on this this staff, and they.
Is she planking on the staff?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
She also has not.
Today's game brought to you by Bethesda.
She has not skipped core day either. She's very strong. Okay. Anything else?
I'm gonna swim back a little bit. I guess I'm a reasonable amount away.
I was about to say you're fine.
Yeah,
You're about like 15 feet from her right now.
We're gonna go another 15 feet that way.
Okay.
Because that's half movement speed in water, and I can only tread water for. So, yeah, no, that's all I got.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to Osrius, the top of the order.
Okay.
Get over there and beat her.
Yeah.
You're still flying thanks to Brum's spell.
Yes, I can still fly. So I'm flying right over to her.
Yep.
And fly right on over. I'm pretty sure I can't move
our pillar of flying here.
I was about to say I can't probably move this without.
If you do that, and then we put you on here, and then we lock you in place, and then we move the pillar of flying. You are now, through the power of magic, flying near the hag.
All right. Well then, first off, I'm going to rage as a bonus action. Which then,
is she considered incapacitated?
Creature is considered. Incapacitated.
Becoming incapacitated.
Well, I believe there are special rules for fighting the helpless for melee.
Do you mean automatic crits?
Well, you have advantage. You had advantage on your attacks. First of all, and that's it.
Incapacitated.
Is it?
Yeah, can't take action.
No, it can't take actions or reactions. Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. We're going to rage. That means Storm Aurora goes off. Because everybody else is like not 10 feet.
No one else
right?
is in range of you, so you can safely do that without hitting anybody.
All right. So that's straight 3 fire damage then.
3 fire damage. Okay.
3 fire damage.
Yes, any attack that hits the creature may be a critical hit if the attackers are within 5 feet.
Osrius flies through the air, bursts into this rage. This like torrent of fire comes off of him, washes over the hag. It scours off a layer.
Never mind.
Scours off like a layer of grime on her grayish skin. Doesn't smell great, but you're in range of her now.
All right, and Walter, I think it's time to crack open a cold one. Where are you? I can't see.
I'm over here.
Okay, right?
Ready?
Right. Okay. Good for this is all for
everybody.
Happy Steve Austin Day.
It's a wrestling match.
Jesus.
Happy Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. This bitch is about to get the chair. Okay. I'm gonna hit her at advantage. First roll will be a 16 to hit, and the second
16 does not hit.
Well, it's at advantage. Right?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's a 21.
21.
Yeah, second roll was a 21. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's the first hit. Just go ahead and do the second. First roll is an 11. Second roll is an 8. So
the 8 will not hit.
Okay. So we'll do that. So that will be 14 plus, what is my rate? Plus 2. So 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
You fly up. Wham! Slam the axe into her. She's going to repeat her saving throw on Tasha's hideous laughter. So you hit her with the axe. Oh! That hurt! Brom, you're up.
Is she still laughing?
No, she stopped laughing as soon as Osrius hit her with the axe.
I would assume not.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna do what was gonna do anyway, but I'm going to now cast Dissonant Whispers, which is not a concentration, so I can keep Osrius in the air.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast it at 3rd level.
She has to save against that?
Yeah, Wisdom save.
Okay. What is your wisdom save?
15.
15. Okay. Does it do anything if she succeeds? I don't think it does, right?
Jesus, no, it doesn't.
So you cup your hand over your mouth and you begin to whisper these psychic incantations, projecting them to her, but she doesn't seem to be affected by them. Anything
Cool.
else?
No. So
Alrighty.
dropping a Goliath from the sky.
Then that will bring us to the Ravens, which are going to attack Alar. Alar, you're going to take 2 attacks from the Ravens.
Okay.
That is, one of those is a 2, so that's going to miss for sure. The other one is a 15 to hit.
That'll hit. I will employ Uncanny Dodge.
Alrighty, you are going to take... you would have taken 10, so with Uncanny Dodge, you will take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And as these ravens swarm down on you again, as the hag, as Granny Josephine has like made her appearance, they all of a sudden you start to catch as they're like flitting past you. You see this like greenish ichor like dripping from their talons and their beaks. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. That is a 14.
14, that is enough. So these several of these birds whip past you, and you feel the sharp pinch of like beaks pinching into you, talons raking at your skin, and the claw and bite marks that they make on you as they pass you by seem to burn significantly worse than like the depth of the wound would indicate, but you feel no different otherwise. The next thing that's going to happen here, Alar, from beneath you, you hear a like creak and groan and the snapping of what sounds like wood as the house sort of rumbles beneath you. The front door bursts open and several creatures come like piling out. They almost look like they disgorged themselves from the house itself. They are vaguely humanoid forms that look like they may once have been human. However, they are distorted and twisted, and they have all manner of plant growth and wood and lichen and moss just growing on and in and out of them. They are these like swampy horrors that like clamber out of the house, and immediately 2 of them begin to climb to where you're standing, and the other 2 begin to swim 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15 towards Walter. I guess these guys will take a dash action to reach all the way to Walter.
Whale.
What's up?
I said whale.
These guys are going to make athletics checks to try and climb up the house. Easily making it. And they are going to take swings at you.
Jesus.
Both of them get 21s to hit.
Ouch.
So you are going to take total of... It wasn't my d8s. Just rolled a d10 on you. A total of 5. Total of 5 bludgeoning damage as these things climb up and just swing these like club-like appendage sword. Like, they definitely look like they were arms at one point, but now they have all these like weird branched protuberances coming off them. And they just slam them into you. That is their full turn, which will bring us to the hag. So, Granny Josephine stops laughing. She pushes herself back upright on this gray staff that she has, facing you, Osrius. And she looks at you and she says, "Oh my, what a rude gentleman you are!" And she's gonna just haul back and try and punch you in the face.
Okay.
That is going to be...
I swear to God, if you pull a big number out of your butt...
it is a 19 to hit.
Seriously? I have an AC of 18, so yes.
Oh, she got you. Okay. So that is going to be...
Oh, fuck.
What?
Sorry, my chair went on an adventure.
No.
Oh, okay. That was... Describe it.
You're going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, which will be half because you're raging, so you will take 4 instead. And...
Grassy would be also raising.
Yeah. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As she just whips this fist back and just punches you square in the jaw with just like meaty, thick tree trunk arm.
Okay. All right. Con save. Come on. 18.
18 is more than enough. So she hits you with this fist. You feel this sort of just the fleshy like thunk of this fist connecting with your right with your face. And as she follows through and her fist leaves connection with your skin, you feel this sort of slimy trail of glorp that seems to be emanating from the clawed fingers of her hands. Trail off of your skin, but you feel besides a burning pain on your where she connected with you, you don't feel any different.
Okay.
That is I believe going to be her turn. Yes. That is it for Granny Josephine for this round. Alar, it is your turn.
It's getting a little hot for me here, so I'm going to use my bonus action of disengaging.
Okay.
I'm going to disengage straight into the water.
Alrighty. So you just dive into the water. Splish. Uh-oh.
Crap.
There goes Tabletop Legend. Oh, there goes Tabletop Sim.
Did it just crash?
Tabletop Sim crashed on us.
Cool.
Crashed on you. Which is also
it means it'll crash on us in a moment.
Oh.
Just in case.
There it goes.
My files are too powerful.
Hey, and we didn't lose anything either. That's fun. Okay, so Alar splishes into the water. I feel like I just heard something.
What is your
Let's
conscience?
see.
What is your conscience asking you if you really wanted to do this?
And he answers, yes. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Yes.
And how far away am I from Granny?
You are about 5, 10, 15. So probably 20 feet-ish. She's about 15 feet-ish from you this way, but she's up.
Okay. Well, she's been injured, and I got lucky once. Probably not going to work again, but anything didn't try and help. So she makes a wisdom saving throw.
All right, she gets a 16 this time.
Nothing happens.
So you.
I'm going to
toll the
also.
dead, but nothing. The
Yep,
sounds
I'm going to start swimming back towards Brahm.
ripples through the water. Alrighty. Okay, so you begin to move that direction. So that is Alar's turn. Walter, you are up. You have two of these things paddling through the water towards you.
They are at me. They dash to get up right up to me.
They both dash to get within short range of you.
Well, do they have any writing on them?
Do they have any writing on them? They do not.
All right.
No, that's not true. You see, one of them does appear to have a neck tattoo that says "Thug Life."
All right. Well, I regret these eyes.
He has John
I'm going
3:16 under his chin.
I'm gonna cast.
I'm a snake around his neck.
I'm gonna square up with these plant zombie water monsters, and I'm gonna cast Vampiric Touch and start punching.
Alrighty.
Vampiric Touch.
Right. So that's gonna be a 25 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Great.
Better.
That is 4d6 necrotic. That is 11 necrotic damage.
11 necrotic. You haul back. Boom! You punch your vampirized hand clean through this thing's head. And you just pull your hand out. And the whole top of the head just like splits. Yeah. You do that. It drops. It just starts sort of like dropping. Starts to float.
I like to imagine I punched one that says Thug Life and it just says Hug Life now. Punch the T off.
You punch the thug right out of that one. It says Hug Life now. It begins to sink.
Alright. And I regain half hit points. So that's all I'm doing with that.
That's nice.
Alrighty.
Turn.
Okay. That is gonna bring us to Oz. So Oz, you just got decked in the face by the meatiest hag that anyone's ever encountered. What are you doing?
Well,
Suplex her into the water.
I don't think I could actually suplex her into the water, and then I'd be a hell of a time trying to fight her in there. Well, as a bonus action, she's going to take 3 fire damage immediately.
Yeah.
So that Storm Aurora will get you. And then she's going to meet an axe to the face.
Okay, roll the hit.
Okay.
Curtis, do you get 2 attacks?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that is an 11.
11 will not hit.
And the other one is a 21.
21 hits. You swing that
good.
axe the first time. She throws up a hand and straight up like catches the haft of the axe. Like she's like, You pull it back and then swing sidearm at her and catch her in the ribs with it.
And that does that does 14 damage.
14 damage. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's
Hit her in the rib cage. She goes. And a bunch
I
of
got you for 3 minutes.
Wrong wrestler.
She goes.
I don't
Your
care.
wrestling references are way off, brother.
I don't care. I don't care.
That's yet another
it's
different
wrestling
wrestler.
I know.
It's wrestling day. It's wrestling day. Shut up.
She then goes, "Woo!"
Can you smell the Brahms cooking?
I don't spit out my beer. I can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that while I'm off guard.
You have night hags, you have green hags, you have
Ooh,
frost
yeah.
hags, and you have Ric Flair hags.
You can't.
Everybody.
I imagine Vince McMahon's gonna come on screen just like real slow behind Matt and be like, no more of this, and just fucking just sleep hold him.
There's Vince McMahon with the chair.
He destroyed him. Bagal.
Alrighty. Rom, that brings us to your turn.
All right. I'm done playing around.
Oh, he's done playing around.
So I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers again at 4th level.
Okay. She rolls a 5, giving her a total of 7. She fails.
It's going to be a lot of dice. That is 25 points of damage.
Okay. Is it 25?
And Brom goes, inside, outside, I'm better than you, doesn't matter. The cream will rise to the top.
Alrighty.
I can't.
Oh, yeah.
We just need a D&D campaign of just the World Wrestling Federation.
Look, barbarians. That's all I'm saying. Everybody
So
roll barbarians.
She's going to use her reaction. Dissonant Whisper. Brom again.
Been knocked out.
Osrius, you just hear like the faintest like a whisper of something that kind of sounds like it's near Granny's ear, and she gets this like look of confusion and then nightmarish terror on her face, and she like throws one hand down, gripping the length of the gray staff that's like she's like standing on with her feet, and the staff suddenly like wheels around and she begins to fly away from you. You will get an attack of opportunity here.
Okay, cool. Heck of it has to be a melee attack.
It does have to be a melee
Yes.
attack.
Damn it! It always has to be a melee. Okay, fine.
Man, all your axe is melee.
20.
20 to
hit.
hit? Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Though the damage could be freaking better. That is going to be 9 damage.
Oh, Russell, she should have taken damage before. She takes half damage on a save, so she should have taken damage from your first one.
No. Well, I never rolled damage. That.
Well, now you know for the
wait a
future now. Okay, she's not.
I looked at it. I didn't see that.
Unless I'm reading an incorrect one.
Hold on. Let me look. Because I looked at it on D&D Beyond. Maybe I...
No, Dissonant doesn't show half on save.
Yeah.
I just
Today we
Googled the
learn
spell
how
and it was the first
D&D
thing that
Beyond
came up.
works.
On Wikidot?
Maybe.
It's probably on roll 20.
Yeah, it doesn't say... On D&D Beyond, it doesn't say anything on a successful save.
Oh no, it does. It does. All the way down. It doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground such as fire or pit. On a successful save, target takes half as much damage.
Okay.
Well, why put that all the way down there? That's okay.
A deafened creature automatically saves. Is all the way at the bottom.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, she go ahead and roll that damage, Osrius. Or give me that damage or whatever.
It was 9.
Okay. Just broke my pencil. Crap.
She would have taken 11 damage if I had known that.
Now we know for the future. Alrighty, so she's slashed again as she flies away with her staff there at her best possible speed, bringing us to the birds. The birds as one. Let's see. The birds are going to fly after. Who's close? Alar's, I guess, still closest. The birds will fly down towards Alar.
Of course.
After you twice. That is a. The lower of the two is an 18.
Both hit.
They will hit you twice. They will hit you for. $12 points of piercing damage.
In 2 hits?
Across 2 hits. You uncanny dodging one of them?
Yeah.
Do you want to uncanny dodge the first or the second?
Let's go with the second.
So for the second one, you will only take 3 points.
Okay, so 9 total.
You'll take a total of 9.
Okay. Not looking great.
Alrighty. That is the swarm of birds. That brings us to these guys. These two. Let's see, what's the distance here? 5, 10. So Osrius is about 10 feet. This guy's going to make an athletics check. He's going to try and jump on Osrius from here.
From the top rope!
From the top rope. This thing takes like 2 steps back and then goes like jumps and like sails through the air, arms outstretched, and falls like 8 feet short of you and just lands in the water. Like the worst jump. It was terrible. This one is gonna jump off the house, splish, and it's gonna start to swim. It's gonna start to swim towards shore. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's heading towards Brahm. Over here, Walter, the one that you vampiric punched through the head, starts to float down, and you see beneath the crystal clear water, you see its head goes, attaches itself back together, and with one like pump of its arms, it surfaces again. The chest tattoo now saying "Hug Life." It immediately goes and throws its arms out, and it's going to try and grapple you. I need a opposed strength check. Number to beat is a...
Probably going to be a big one.
No.
Show me a big one.
Too good. Number to beat is an 11.
All right, with my -1 strength, as an
I was about
athletics
to say, that
check
should be enough.
or a
An
strength
athletics check.
bloop. Hey, how about a 7?
See it.
Ooh, hate to see it.
Oh yeah, unjustifiably in a position I'd rather not be in.
Okay, so your
Just that.
speed
Oh,
is
no.
0. You are grappled currently. Cannot move.
All right.
The other one is going to take a swing at you. And it crits. That's fun.
I am going. Is that an auto hit always?
Is what an auto hit always.
Crit?
Crit, yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good question.
You know what?
Rules is
don't worry
written.
about
It is. I have never really played it that way.
It doesn't matter. I can't break 20 either way. So.
Okay, because I mean the total is going to be
A lot.
22.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Okay, then it is going to hit you for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. It rolled
that's not
very
bad.
bad against damage.
I have to make a con save.
You have to make a
Are
con
you
save.
concentrating on something?
I have advantage on con saves. Yeah, vampiric touch.
All right.
Are you
What is it? What is it?
You're on a natural 1 and then a 2.
Ooh, wow.
The
Well,
bloody red light dims from your vampiric fist hand, and you lose concentration of your spell.
Well, I'm being grappled by zombie Groot, so I
That
don't
is
know what I
true.
expected.
Okay, that is going to be these things' turn. I need to... the hag is going to take a turn, and she is going to...
Come back here and fight me.
Yeah, you just need to check the range on something.
Oh, great.
She does begin to fly back towards you. She wheels the flying staff around and begins to head back in your direction. So she's gonna fly. Actually, 5. Is in this space? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so she doesn't actually have to move that far. She's gonna come to here. Yeah. She's gonna fly right to here.
I can't wait till I get a third spell slot.
She draws back one of these massive muscular arms of hers. And she goes, "Oh dearie, I think it's time that you get over here." And she whips her hand forward, and this like chain of like thorned vines comes erupting from the palm of her hand, flailing at you. That is gonna be a I don't think she's gonna hit you. What is her spell attack?
She better not. Oh.
Spell attack bonus.
Please. By our Lord and our Savior, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Please. Suspense is killing me.
I can't find the damn spell attack on her thing.
Then that means it's not a Magnus, right?
There it is. I found it. She gets a 16. She misses.
So
you lean back as this like thorn whip comes whizzing over your head, and she pulls it back, and it like retracts into her arm. She goes, "Oops, I missed."
Ew.
That's gonna be her turn. That's all she's gonna do. Alar, that's gonna bring us to you.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
Keep in mind you're at half speed because you're swimming.
Yeah, no, I was seeing what the distance was
Okay.
between me and her. Whether I could get one more shot off with Toll of the Dead. Don't think I can. I think the distance is just a little too far.
She's on this square, so she's 5. Oh, hang on, we have a tool for this, don't we? The scale might be weird on this. Like
well, straight
5,
line,
10,
it is 60, but she's also in the air and up, so she's probably just out of range.
I mean, I'll say go for it. It's on the border.
All right, another wisdom save.
All right. She is going to get a natural 1. She fails.
Thank you very much. She is going to take 12 points of necrotic damage.
12 points of necrotic damage.
And I am going to dive under the water to avoid the bird swarm.
How's she doing? Okay. She's looking pretty beat up. She's got a lot of, like, axe wounds, and she's taken a lot of magical damage. But you still see, like, her muscles are, like, artificially just, like, pumped full of, I don't know. Yeah, steroid juice. Magical steroid juice. That is going to bring us to... I'm going to make a roll real quick. Alrighty. Resolved. That's going to bring us to Walter.
It's going to bring us to us. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I am grappled by a nonsense creature. It's another one punching the hell out of my head.
Yep.
As I'm grappled. So I'm going to focus on my Dark Shard Amulet real hard and try to cast a cantrip from the Warlock spell list. I'm going to make a DC 10 Intelligence Arcana check. If I succeeds, I cast the spell. I'm going to try to cast Sword Burst out of that.
Okay, go ahead and make that intelligence check.
So let's see. I do not, and I can't use it anymore, so I burned that charge. So, and that's also my action for the turn. Yay! I believe it's a free action to slay yourself, correct?
For you, yes. You're proficient in that.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to try and do? No, you use your action. You can't break free of the grapple, so you're stuck.
Yup.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, that is going to bring us to Osrius at the top of the order.
Oh, yeah.
Osrius, this hag just tried to thorn whip you over here. You hear the sounds of your compatriots getting absolutely pummeled behind you.
Yeah. I think, though, the main objective is to kill this hag, and maybe the other stuff would fall to the wayside. Can everybody probably agree on that one?
Burble.
Alar's
under the water.
Yeah. That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to... She's like 30 feet away?
She's exactly 30 feet away from you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come right to her face.
Alright, so you move up to hag.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Zip.
Zoop.
Alright, you soar through the air, moving over to the hag.
She's going to take 3 fire damage right off the bat.
Fire damage, she sure does.
Again, getting hit with that fire, and she's going to take 2 great axes
Swing
to
away.
the face. Come on. Okay, good one. First one is a 24,
That will hit, yes.
and the other one is a 15.
15 does not hit, unfortunately.
Damn it. Oh, what are you going to give me? Okay, so 17 damage.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You
was almost
chop into her, like, rippling deltoid. You sort of, like, pull forward, like, ripping it out from that muscle, back towards you. This gout of, like, clearly Icarus corrupted blood comes spurting out from the wound. She, like, grits her teeth at you, and you see they're, like, yellowed and cracked, and most of them have been filed into these, like, razor-sharp points. Anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm already in her grill. Can't back up for a chance of attack of opportunity. 2 attacks. Yeah, I can't really do anything.
Okay. Then Brahm, that brings us to you. You have one of these things shambling towards you on the rocky shore of the lake. You see Alar has dived underwater as these birds are like skimming the surface, and the sort of splashing mass over here is Walter, who is being like grappled and dogpiled by several more of these creatures.
I'm gonna go with Oz's thinking that the hag is still the main focus. So,
Alrighty.
since it worked so well last time, I'm gonna blow my fourth spell slot to cast Dissonant Whispers again.
She's 75 feet away from you. Are you able to reach her?
Let me see what the distance is.
Dissonant Whispers, I think, like 100? 150?
It's 60 feet.
60? Oh, shoot.
She's how far away?
Man.
Alright, I'll move to just the tip of range.
That is about as far as you can get without having to dash. You can get to 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, because that's about one of the last things I could do before Gwen Stacying Oz.
I'm trying here. I'm
Whispers.
trying.
No, you're doing great, man. You're doing exactly what you need to do.
She gets a 15 on her save. Is that enough?
15 is the mark.
Okay, so she succeeds. She'll still take half damage. Go ahead and roll that damage, but she's not forced to run this time.
Okay.
Well, at least we're down by the shore, though.
So that's gonna be. It was a 19. So does it
She'll
take the
half.
point up or the point down?
Point down.
That's what I'm saying. But okay.
So she takes 9.
Alrighty.
I don't think there's anything I can bonus action.
Osrius, you once again you kind of hear that like whisper of air somewhere in your vicinity, and you just see like the hag's head, her head like snaps to the side, and this like gout of blood comes out of one of her ears all of a sudden. She like smacks a hand over, like.
Bardic Inspiration is not a concentration, right?
Bardic Inspiration is, I believe, a bonus action.
Yeah, so I will... Alar's straight up getting drowned right now, right?
No, I'm fine.
He's
I just dove to.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
who's
down to a
who's in
quarter
bigger
hit point.
who's in bigger trouble?
Walter.
Walter is probably not doing
Okay,
great.
I'll give Walter Bardic Inspiration.
Hooray! Can I hear you? Oh yeah, no, I'm above. I'm
You're
not.
above.
They haven't started drowning me yet,
Yeah,
so.
you're
Walter,
Sure.
try your hardest not to die.
Weirdly, you feel inspired to follow that
Not
advice.
die.
All right, the
Not
bird's
die.
going to take a turn. They're going to come after Brahm now that he's out here. 2
Oh,
attacks against
hey.
Brahm and
Exactly what I was
8, which will miss. So it is a 12 misses, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other one is a crit.
Oh boy. Crit by birds.
You're going to take.
What a fun time.
Oh god.
Oh no. That's not bad.
You're going to take 18 points of piercing damage.
Oh my.
And I need
God.
you to make I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Oh, you might have to make 3.
Let's call this is
First
so,
one's a 16.
So hang on. All right. We're gonna call that one the save for your fly spell.
Okay.
So you save on that one. And then this one is the save against the effect.
This is a
that
12.
placed into these. That one's a 12.
Yeah.
Also just makes it. So again, you feel that like hissing burning where you're slashed by the raven's wings and claws and beaks, but you seem to be not poisoned. It's like a check on what one of my dogs is chewing behind me.
This is something important, I'm sure. That's when the whole Twitch stream goes off again.
I can't believe I got a nat 1 and a nat 2 to concentrate.
I can believe it.
Every time I use that spell, it's never effective.
I'm not gonna lie. You kind of roll like shit.
I'm not rolling. It's D&D Beyond. Like it's clearly here in the record.
I've noticed with D&D Beyond, it either rolls really high or really low. It very rarely rolls it.
Yeah.
No, you just don't really remember the middling ones.
Okay. The birds are done. Olive had a piece of wood that I took from her. And the horrors are going to go.
So wasn't the
Oh boy.
Okay, so Brahm and Alar, you're each going to get attacked by one of these things.
Okay.
I look those crows in the eye and say, on balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are.
They go, you used that one already.
Yeah, but that's my favorite one.
Now we just go look up wrestling.
Yeah.
Is your Bardic Inspiration a D8 or a D6?
I think it's a D6, but let me double check.
Alar, a 14 against you.
That just hits.
Okay, and Brahm, yours is a...
It is a
7.
D8.
So that will miss Brahm. Alar, you are going to take...
Uncanny dodge.
You would have taken 7. You will instead take 3. Bludgeoning damage. Alrighty. That is those guys, which will bring us to Granny. So Granny is going to reel back again, and she is going, "Oh, tut tut tut, little boys should really mind their manners." And that is going to be a
Miss?
19. Which I assume hits, right? I think you said you were an 18.
Yes.
Okay, you are going to take...
Hopefully not a lot. I mean, I should probably take it, but...
would have been 15 damage, so it will be...
don't like it.
Some dogs join the fight.
I was about to say, that's a dog fight.
We're gonna release the hounds!
I'm reading wrestling lines and I can't bring myself to say
I
any of them.
only ever quote the cream of the crop video. That is the only thing I ever, because that is.
I-
This is the single
gold
best video
tier.
in the history of wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Keep pulling cream. All right. Ooh. Oh.
Alrighty.
Oof.
Olive and Griff,
Somebody knocked me.
they were also celebrating Steve Austin Day.
Oh, hell yeah.
With
Can I
the
get a
barbed
hell
wire
yeah?
baseball bat.
All right, so they have been separated.
Stone Cold
and
Steve
the
Olive.
hag- Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Olive.
The hag is
that
going to
would-
deal 7 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Osrius.
7. Okay, that's not bad.
And then I need a
Let's take
Constitution
another con
saving throw.
Oh, okay, that's bad. That's a 12.
Just makes it. You're fine still.
Oh,
Whatever that goop that she's trying to punch into you is not able to overwhelm your defenses.
Oh, get the tables.
You are actually still gonna. I should have done this last time. I also forgot some
The
stuff.
cream
You also
rises to the
take
top.
damage. So you'll take an additional 3 poison damage, but you are not
What?
poisoned.
Why?
It's half damage on a save, which I did not realize until just now.
Oh.
So you got to not take the damage the first time because I didn't read it.
All right.
And so she punches into you, and she says, "I really thought it would take you longer to figure out that it was me that put that there." And Alar, you're up.
All right. Let's see. Bonus action, disengaging from the thing that attacked me, swimming over, and I'm going to try and stab Mr. Thug Life
Alrighty,
with my rapier, casting Booming Blade.
roll the hit.
I think this guy's thug life.
That's a 17 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay, sneak attack. Let's see, how much sneak attack damage do I do? 46. Fun.
I imagine you like swimming in like a swordfish, just like with your exploding sword nonsense.
See, 19, and that's a D8. 3 more. So that is 25 points of damage. 22 of it is piercing. 3 of it is thunder.
That is more than enough.
You should
stick
be.
your rapier in, and you pull it upward out, and you just rip the fleshy, woody, planty body into 2 complete sections that will begin to sink.
Oh yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I surface. That's about it.
Alrighty, then in that case, it will be Walter's turn. So you are no longer grappled. As the one that was holding onto you, Alar just swam up and vivisected with his rapier.
All right. Well. Oh yeah. So the one that's okay.
The
So
one
I
that was holding
can.
you is now dead. You are no longer grappled.
Okay. Perfect. I will. Try to shovel my way out of danger, I guess, and I'll shillelagh the other guy.
Roll to hit.
Well, I'm going up. Does a 9 hit?
A 9 does not quite hit, no. So you swing your shovel, sort of misses the creature and like splashes into the water. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. That will bring us to the top of the order. Osrius, you are facing off with the Granny.
Yeah. All right. She's gonna take 3 fire damage again. We've gone through this multiple times.
Yep.
Fire damage and 2 attacks with the great axe to the face. Come on. Okay, I like that. 26 for the first one.
Oh, yes.
And a 22 for the second one.
Both of those will hit.
Nice.
Roll damage.
All right. Wow. Okay, that is 13 for the first one. Come on,
Okay.
Max. Oh no, and that's 11 for the second one.
Alrighty.
So 24.
Yeah.
Osrius, she hauls off, wham, punches you. You like take the hit. You straighten back up in the air. You bring your axe around, and you cleave once up, as if you're knighting her. You cleave into both of her shoulders on either side. The axe, the second one, bites deep, and you can feel it like crunch through collarbone and like deep into the chest cavity. She drops her arms
Snap
to
into
the
a
side.
Slim Jim.
Yeah. She drops her arms to the side and she looks at you and she's and a bunch of like blood starts gushing out over her chin. And she says, I just wanted to know. And she turns and looks past you towards her house, and she whispers something under her breath. Make a perception check to see if you can hear it.
Okay. Oh, I hope I hear it. Perception is +2. Come on. 12.
12 is more than enough. She's very close to you.
Big time.
She says through like a gurgle of blood. She looks at the house, and you hear she whispers, "Find Griswanda." And then she keels over backwards and falls off of her staff, dead, splashing 20 feet into the water below.
Okay.
The staff like tumbling through the air.
Okay.
Anything else? She is dead. You have killed Granny Josephine.
Ooh. I'm the best there was and the best there ever will be. That is the wrestling lane. Well, technically I'm still in initiative, right?
Yeah, you guys are still on initiative because all these things are still up here.
Shoot. I kind of want to dive down and get that thing there, though. Well, it's not going anywhere, I think. So, I haven't moved. Can I move 30 feet back? What is it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30? Yeah, I'm going to move 30 feet and just literally backwards.
Okay, so
to
you're still
this
up,
guy
or are
right
you going? Are you dropping as well?
I'll stay up as long as it's possible.
Yeah, you're flying.
But
You
at this
just-
point,
if you like,
yeah.
you can fly all the way to him. You're just gonna have to descend next time to actually hit him.
yeah.
'cause
Oh
he's in
yeah,
the water.
he's it's going to be Rage in the Cage at this point.
Okay. All right. Osrius flies over
yeah.
above this thing that is menacing Walter. That is going to bring us to Brahm. So Brahm, you see kind of in the distance, you see the form of the protein hag fall, splash into the water. But you are still surrounded by these husks and these birds, which do not seem to have been deterred by her death as they continue to try and kill you.
I'm gonna. Yeah, so I'll cast Dispel Magic into the close stack of birds.
Into the birds. Okay. Roll. Actually, did I have? I had to look this up last time. Did I make you roll last time you did this?
I do not remember.
What
I
level are you
think
casting
so.
at?
Let's see what the.
Third level.
Yes. Okay. So you will have to go ahead and roll. Roll a d20 plus your spell casting modifier. You need to beat 10 plus the spell's level. Oh well. He's a robot.
It's got to make looking at the wrong.
Yeah. So I need you to roll if he might.
Matt breaking up, or is my internet crap?
That's you.
Sounds like you're okay now, though. Maybe not.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, so you need
Okay,
to
what
roll
do you need?
D20 plus your spellcasting modifier. You have to beat 10 plus the level of the spellcast.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 2. It's only +4.
Not going to be enough.
Cool.
So you fire off this dispel magic into this cloud of birds, but you feel the power of the spell work working on that. It's too strong for you to dispel with that amount. Alrighty, it is the bird's turn. The birds are going to attack Brom. Well, I think that's going to be 2 clean misses. The higher of the 2 is an 11, which I think misses. So
Yes.
a bunch of birds like dive bomb you. You just sort of like splish under the water and stay away from them. These things will begin to make some attacks. That one's still in range of Walter. One of them is dead. Okay, so 2 of them are going to attack Brom. The lower of the 2 is a 14.
Does not hit.
Okay, so one of them will hit you with a 22. It will hit you for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on your fly spell.
15.
15, not more than enough. So you are fine. Osrius continues to fly. Granny's dead. Alar, you are up.
Alright. Gonna swim up a little bit on this one. And do the same darn thing again. Booming Blade. Oh, he's not gonna have a good day. That's a crit. That's a 26.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
For the spell, that's 36 points of damage.
Okay, do not worry about it. He's very much dead.
Then I'm gonna yell at Walter. Get those 2! Get those 2!
Alrighty. That is Alar's turn. You guys see as Osrius flies away from the defeated hag and heads back in your direction. You guys quickly dispatch another one of these creatures. Brom is fighting with these birds and with these things. There is a massive groaning from the house as the moss and lichen and mud and all these like bits of debris and branches and things that have been like draped around it and a good portion of like what it's the pad type of deal that it's floating on begin to like creep up and like engulf the roof, and then they spread out into these like wide wings made out of lichen and plant matter, and with a powerful like flap, the house lifts into the air out of the water, this massive like torrent of water descending from it. It begins it's not locked. Why are we stuck here? There we go. It begins to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It is going to use its action. A gnarled branch shoots out of the bottom of the house, grabs the hag's corpse, and it begins to lift higher into the air and continue to begin to fly away. That will bring us to Walter's turn. So Walter, a whole ass hut just started to fly away, grabbed the hag's corpse, and is now flying off towards the hills to the north.
I'm going to do the only thing I know how to do, and I'm going to try to Eldritch Blast her corpse out of the. Try to Eldritch Blast the arm, the wood that's holding her up, that picked her up, and try to blast it off.
I will allow you to Eldritch Blast specifically the arm to try if you're trying to like knock her out. If you want to make that roll at disadvantage, you can shoot at like specifically the arm.
All right, I'll make 2 shots.
If you could get a nat 20 on both
1,
rolls, that'd be great.
2.
21.
So lower is a 20 for the
20.
first beam.
That will hit.
The second beam is trash. It's the lower of the second beams is a 9.
Okay. So
I got
go ahead and roll
beam.
roll damage, and I'm gonna have the house make a basically make a Constitution saving throw to hang on.
8 points.
8 points, and the house rolls a 5. You see your Eldritch Blast streaks past Osrius. It like arcs upward, and it slams into the underside of the house. That branch cracks off, and the hag's corpse splashes back into the water, dropped.
You ain't getting out of here. And
Can I get to it?
So
can get
she's
to it, I think.
she's back here. That's my only action. So
Okay.
If you want to move toward the hag's corpse,
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. So that's 15 feet, I guess.
That does bring us to Osrius.
Okay, so there's a choice here. I can either go inside the house or go towards the body. I'm going to say to the group too. It was like the hag was talking about something of taking care of. Did you say Griswalda?
The hag said, "Find Griswanda," before she
Griswanda.
died.
The hag said, "Find Griswanda." She looked towards the house, right?
She looked at the house and said, "Find
Yeah.
Griswanda."
She was looking towards the house when she said, "Find Griswanda." I think I need to go in.
Run to your heart's content, sir.
How fast can I?
I think you have 60 feet of fly
I got
speed.
60
I
feet.
believe
Hey.
so, the fly spell.
Does the fly spell
Is
give
that
60
the
feet
dash?
flat?
yeah,
No.
I was about to say, is that dashing or no? That's straight flying. Okay,
That's straight flying.
15. Okay, so I can get to the house in 60. I can get 50 at the house. I'm pretty sure. Reading that right. 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. So I want to zoom inside the house.
Zoom.
So
want you
you
in my
can get
room.
to the house. You're gonna have to make an action to try and like get your way in, because like all the doors and windows and shutters will have shut themselves. So you're gonna have to use an action
my
to try and
moment-
wrench the door open.
I was about to say, can my momentum like barrel through the door?
You can make an athletics to try and get in.
I was about to say because if you can push, drag, or lift. If with my powerful build traits, it says I count one size larger when determining your carrying capacity.
Probably not. gonna
That's
apply
just
to
a.
this.
It's just a.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured I'd try. Okay.
But yeah, you can make an athletics check to try and bust your way into the house.
Right, I'm gonna try to do that. Oh, you son of a bitch. 12.
No, unfortunately, you sort of hurtle in, you throw your shoulder, and you just hit the side of the house. The door kind of like rattles a little bit, and you're like rebuffed a foot or two in the air.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Does raging give any benefit to athletics checks?
No. You gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws.
Athletics, I believe, is a strength
athletics
check.
is a strength-based check.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have advantage on that.
Okay. Do it again.
Try it again.
16.
16. Still not quite enough. You slam in. The door really like rattles, but you're not able to break in. This thing is significantly sturdier than how like rickety and crappy it looks.
Okay.
You're like you slam your shoulder in, and it was like slamming into like a full tree. So you're up alongside it, but the door remains steadfastly like slammed shut.
All right. Is it a possibility of just hanging on for the time being?
At this point, you used your action, your movement to get here, and your action was to try and batter your way in.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty. Cool. Then that will bring us to Brahm.
Brahm is gone.
Brahm's AFK.
Brahm's gone, man.
He's gone. Then we will skip Brahm for now. And we will come to the birds. We're going to attack Brahm.
The birds.
We'll take 2 attacks from birds. 17 and a 16, I believe, both hit him. So he's going to get hit twice. Taking 9 and 6, respectively. So he'll take 9 damage, he'll take 6 damage, and he's going to have to make 2 concentration checks of 10 to maintain his fly spell. Let's, Osrius, why don't you roll Constitutions for Brahm? We need to know whether you're flying or not.
Okay.
So just roll the d20 as I'm pulling up his character sheet to get the get his save.
D20. I'll roll a d20 flat out. Oh, that's not good. D20 rolled a 2.
A 2. Okay. Then it's not gonna matter. So he's hit by those ravens. His concentration is broken, and the flight spell ends on you. You fall into the water 20 feet below the house. Splash.
Land on the hag.
Well, yeah, I guess at this point,
You sort of land next to the hag, who is at this point just sort of a floating corpse. Okay, but that is the bird's turn. Just remind me to tell him to mark that damage when he gets back.
Okay.
I don't know if he's been doing it or not yet. I'll just put him on here now, right? 9, and then he took another 6. Okay. Alrighty, that is the bird's turn. The swamp creatures. Yeah, they're here at this point. They're just going to continue to wail. And poor Brahm is getting beat up. He gets for going AFK.
I know that feeling.
One of them is an 18, which will hit. The other is a 2. So he will take an additional 1 point of damage.
Cool.
You're back. You've been keeping track of your health on your character sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You took 9, and then you took 6 from the birds, which I marked for you. Then you just took an additional 1 from one of the swamp horror things, which I marked for you.
Oh, so I don't have to add that damage?
No, I added all the damage for you, so your character sheet should be accurate.
Was that 1 point of damage also me?
I added that as well. So you're at 20 hit points.
Took that
currently.
away, so...
You also lost concentration on the fly spell.
Curtis rolled concentration for the fly spell on you. And
I have to refresh that.
You just did. Alright. So Curtis is no longer flying. Your concentration was broken.
So I'm at 20 hit points now? Because
20
it
hit
still
points.
says I'm at 36.
You're at 20 right now. Okay, that is their turn. Hag is dead. Alar, you are up.
Swimming over and stabbing one of the...
Alrighty, roll the hit.
Casting Booming Blade again. 18.
18 hits for sure.
Okay, so that's 19 piercing. And 5 thunder, so grand total of 24 points.
Alrighty. So you destroy that one. Okay. You strike that one down. It is sundered. The wood and bone and flesh sort of just lose cohesion and start to sink to the bottom like a bunch of fish food or chum in the water. Anything else?
Nope, that's about all I can do.
Alrighty.
Will Russell get his turn? I know it's out of order.
Oh yeah, you sort of missed your turn slightly. So go ahead and
Okay.
take a turn for Rom.
All right, so I'm not holding concentration anymore.
No.
It's really out of spell slot.
Being harried by birds.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself at
Okay.
first level because that's the only thing I can. Only level I have left. So I get 9 hit points back.
Alrighty.
And I will also give some more bardic inspiration. Who needs it? Who wants it?
Yeah, I could use it.
All right, I will bardic
Let's say
inspire.
somebody that's actually fighting somebody could probably
Alar.
use it.
All right. Then we'll jump back to our normal place. The hut is going to take a dash action and is going to fly a full 120 feet, continuing to elevate
Oh,
and
okay.
fly away over the... it looks like once that like grabby arm got smashed off by Walter's thing, it doesn't seem to have recourse to pick the hag's corpse up anymore. And it apparently continues to follow whatever directive it was given, and it flies away. So it's still visible, but it is quickly ascending and shrinking into the sky over the terrain. So it's a full 120. I just ran out of table, but it goes basically a full 120 straight this way away from Osrius. And continues to shrink into the distance. That will bring us to Walter's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast some of these birds.
Alright, I'll just blast those birds.
Just feeling feisty with the actual success where I hit stuff. Bird number 1 is 22.
Hits.
Bird number 2 is a 13.
Also hits. 2 hits.
Let's say you
Clean.
feel
Alright,
lucky.
bird number 1 takes 7 points of force damage
Alright.
and gets pushed back 10 feet.
Okay.
And the other one also takes 7 points of force damage and gets pushed back 10 feet.
So, you...
Did
Your
I
Eldritch Blast-
ragdoll physics?
Your Eldritch... No, I just deleted them. Your Eldritch
Okay.
Blast, like, lances out and sort of, like, arcs out into this woven, almost like net that sort of scoops kind of the mass of these birds and just shoves the whole thing. So the swarm is kind of pushed backwards. So they kind of, like, coil into each other and begin to, like, swarm around the outside of the clump that was pushed, already like moving back to re-engage. Osrius, it is your turn. So you're out here with a hag corpse and a house flying away as you're now in the water.
All right. Observing that the house is now flying away, and I have no other really way of flying to that house, I'm going to try and dive and get the corpse, but also get the staff.
Okay,
I wanna get
make
the
an
staff.
investigation check.
Let me pull up investigation. That's going to be awful. Okay. Wow. Okay. With a +0, I get an 18 on an investigation
18. You
check.
easily are able to find both Granny Josephine's corpse and the Greywood staff, which, as it turns out, seems to be buoyant enough that it's just sort of floating on the surface.
Oh, thanks.
You
Thanks
kind
for
of like dive down a little bit. You kind of like hook the massive hulking muscle-bound form of the hag and begin to like kind of kick your way to the surface, and you sort of come up, and the staff just sort of like bonks onto your shoulder as you come back up and grab that too. So you have the hag,
Okay.
you have the staff.
I want to come over here to the shore bit
Okay.
and just like
Sort of pull them
place
onto the
her
shore.
there.
Sure.
Place her there and keep the staff.
Okay. Yeah, easily you can do that.
And I don't know if I could really do anything right now. No, I can't throw the javelin. I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait to hope that somebody doesn't flick my character. I'm gonna be right here, and yeah, I'm gonna end my turn right here.
Okay.
And then I'll proceed what to do next if we need to do anything.
Alrighty, sounds good. That will bring us to Brom. So Brom, you are still getting menaced by one more of these swamp horrors.
I don't think I have anything left other than to give him the old stabby stab.
The old razzle dazzle.
So that's gonna be. Oh, thank God. It's gonna be a 17 to hit.
17 definitely hits.
Okay, and that is 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. So you stab into this with your rapier, and it sort of makes this like awful like groaning, gurgling noise that's half a grunt of pain and half the creaking of wood. It does not appear to have been killed by that amount of damage, however.
And I can, with my 2-weapon fighting, I'm going to do.
Brom is 2-weapon fighting?
Yeah. I
Does
don't know
he?
why. It's on my bonus actions.
all people have 2-weapon fighting, but you don't get the benefit.
Do you
It
have
still has to be
feet
light.
for it? Or you just
It's on my
doing-
bonus action.
I don't think Brom has the feat for like duelist or for two-handed weapon, two double-handed fighting, which means you can make an attack with an offhanded weapon. It's
Would it
just
be
a
on here if I didn't?
You know,
Yes,
so
believe so.
it specifically says when you take the attack action with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon that you're holding in the other hand. You don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack unless the modifier is negative.
So like if you want to swing the crowbar, you can swing the crowbar with just a straight
Yeah, I'll do that.
with just a straight D20 plus proficiency.
Well, that was a 19 on the roll.
So that will hit. So go ahead and roll.
Let's
Roll
crowbar.
1d4.
1d4.
Yeah.
1 point of damage.
1 point of damage.
Bonk.
Okay, so that was how much? What'd you do to him total? You did 8 total?
8 with the rapier and 1
Please
with
don't-
the
please don't
crowbar.
do 9 total, okay. All right, so 9 total. So you sort of like stab into it, groans at you, and you immediately switch to Plan B and just pull the crowbar out, like clang, clunk it on the top of the head. But that likewise doesn't quite seem to finish it off. That's gonna bring us to the birds, which are going to surge forward. Oop. They'll surge forward. And they're going to attack Brom.
Cool.
15.
That does not hit. I don't think it's a 16.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they
16. It does not hit.
sweep over you. You hear the clacking of beaks. But they do not manage to connect. This creature will swing at you.
Is it the one where
It's an
the
18.
eagle is literally in Brom's pants right now?
Yeah. An 18 will hit Brom, dealing 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
Already, that is going to bring us to Alar. So Alar, these remaining minions or summoned creatures or whatever they are of this hag are just like swarming onto Brom.
All right. Well, moving up. Well, let's see what Toll the Dead does on a swarm.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Let's see. Is there a... I guess that would be intelligence, huh? There's not like a caveat on there about like if its stat is so low it doesn't do anything. As far as I know.
You point at one creature you can see in range. I'm targeting one bird out of the swarm.
Alright, yeah, it gets an 11 total, so I believe it fails.
Okay. Well, that one bird takes 12 whole points of necrotic damage.
So there's just sort of this like effect as several birds like detonate. Alrighty. That's gonna bring us to hut, which you see continues to get further away in the distance. Osrius, and Walter, you're up.
Alright. I'd like these birds to chill, so I'm gonna cast Frostbite.
Okay.
They have to make a... Where'd it go? Where'd you go?
Dex or a con save?
It's a con save.
They
It's a
got
DC 14 con
If
save.
they
So
got 10.
they take 5 points of cold damage, and they have disadvantage on their next attack.
Cool. Alrighty. So you see it's like icy whirlwind, and it enters the sort of vortex of birds that are still swarming around Brahm. Osrius, that's going to bring us to you.
All right. You know what? How far? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Would you say these birds here are like 65 to 70 feet away? I think that's what I'm counting.
I count 65 feet.
Okay. So I can throw a javelin?
Yeah.
Yeah? And be an advantage? Oh,
Probably
no,
have to,
I mean, not
probably have to
advantage.
like take a step around these rocks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Huck a javelin.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna huck a damn javelin.
Do it.
All right. We'll see how I crit on this. Play the game.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That's a net.
A nat 1?
No, it's a nat
No,
20.
that's a nat
No, it's
20?
just an at 20.
He critted.
So it's
Hell
27.
yeah! Alright, sick. Roll damage.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, that is a bird
What's
swarm.
that coming from the shore? It's Osrius
Oh.
with a steel javelin.
That's so
Yeah,
crap damage.
That's a
though.
raving
It's-
kebab right there.
That's a 9. That's a 9 crit damage.
9 points of damage. Osrius.
Wait, that was doubled?
Yeah, that was well. It already.
He rolled a second d6.
Yeah,
Osrius,
yeah.
Do
That's-
you have
that's what
do you have brutal critical? Only applies, does it
Oh,
apply to does it apply to
no.
ranged attacks or only melee?
No, I think only melee.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't have brutal critical yet.
You step out from behind this rock. You like line up your shot. You like crow hop and just huck this javelin. It comes sailing through the air. The other three of you, like the world goes into like slow motion as like Walter goes over your head, Alar over your head, Brahm, it goes over your head, and by some twist of the weave of fate, the swirling mass of birds line up in such a way that this javelin spears like 15 birds in a row, killing the entirety of the rest of the swarm, and then just splats into the water. There's like the entire 6-foot length of the javelin is straight up just like spit roasted birds, which then burst into feathers, disappearing. The swarm is defeated.
And then I'm gonna shout, and that's the bottom line because Osrius said so. come full circle.
Alrighty, Brahm. The most miraculous feat of javelinery that you've ever seen has just taken place. There's one more creature in your vicinity here.
Okay. That's going to be 16 to hit
16 hits.
and 6 damage.
6 damage. You drive your rapier into the last of these creatures, and with one great shudder, it finally gives up the ghost, and it dies. And you guys watch as the house flies away into the distance.
And all of our pictures disappear.
Yeah. And grows ever smaller, continuing to wing its way north.
Now I
We are
wish
out
I
of
would have
initiative.
thrown. Now I wish I would have
I'm
thrown the
going to
javelin at
mage
us.
hand Osrius's miraculous javelin back over to me and very tiredly swim over to where he is and flop down flat on the shore because I am down to just about a quarter of my hit points.
I'm gonna go check on Greg, and I'm just gonna like swim down.
Okay, so you have your
Greg?
water breathing
I
potion
forgot about
active.
Greg.
Oh,
Okay. So Walter shouts out like, "I'm gonna check on Greg," and he dives. All right, Alar is posted up on the beach for a moment, taking a breather. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna give Alar actually the staff. Be
Okay.
like, Granny dropped this. I don't know. It just looks like a piece of wood. So here you go. Can I have that javelin back though? That was actually pretty good. I would
I
like to have that.
tiredly hold that up to him like, I wanted you to make sure that you got this back anyway.
Oh yeah,
Great
thank you.
shot,
That's a
man.
good
well,
trade.
you get 10 points.
Are you okay?
Healing.
I've been better,
Thank you.
but I've been worse. You've seen me worse. All right.
I heal myself on a heal ALR, just using all my spell slots.
Okay.
So
Thank
let's
you.
not run into anything else on the way back
Let's hope Greg doesn't
to
get pissed.
Diavale.
I'm going to examine the staff, see if there are any runes or anything on it.
You can make an Arcana check.
Well, that's a whole whopping 11.
Looks like a piece of wood. Osrius's assessment seems to be fairly accurate.
All right. Well, not satisfied with just that, I break out the wand. Cast. I before I cast it, I go, wait a second. Haul myself back up, go over to where the body is, set the staff next to the body,
Sure.
and then cast Detect Magic.
The staff appears to be a piece of wood. You detect no magic coming from it.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
You also detect no magic coming from the granny. She is an unmagical corpse.
Oh, come on.
Oh, well. Then I'm going to
Piece of
toss
wood
the
for
body.
that?
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
I should have probably done that.
15.
With a 15, you find in the remaining folds of the sort of filthy, disgusting. She's essentially got like a tracksuit with the sleeves ripped off is what she's wearing under her like babushka robe when she ripped them off. She has got on her what you believe to be looks like a pouch full of like you identified that they're probably like spell components. So
Okay.
there's a lot of like dried powdered things of root in like little vials and stuff. All of this is like tucked into a little pouch that you pull off of her. You also find a small container small oil skin pouch that has been is sealed shut and appears to be probably waterproof. And as you pop that open, you find a book inside there.
Ooh. And well, the book didn't detect as magical, so probably no magical traps. So I carefully open the book.
If it's river fishing, I'm flipping the table. Just all the tables.
Olive is in a mood tonight. You find it is a book. The cover appears to be this sort of rough, probably handcrafted leather, and the pages are these onion skin sort of rough pieces of parchment that appears to have been looks like probably she stitched this thing together by hand. You open it up, and as you begin to flip through, it is not in any sort of identifiable language that you recognize. It's either written in some sort of code or some sort of arcane hag language that you are not able to decipher.
Crap.
At the moment.
I'm gonna have to wait for Walter. And I'm just gonna flop back onto the shore.
Okay. Brom, what are you guys doing as the two of them are over here and Walter begins to dive? You healed each of you guys, right? Are you sticking with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then while you guys are up here on the beach, let's shift over to Walter. You dive. With your water breathing spell active, the effects of your potion active, it's easy enough to begin to dive down. You descend past that sort of statuary, and you slip into the sort of the narrow channel that leads down below the rocky floor of this lake, and you begin to swim downward. The shaft that is created by this fissure in the rock descends for several hundred feet as you continue to swim down. The stone walls are kind of rough and a little bit jagged in places. They sort of press in on you from either side. You are not in danger. You don't think of getting stuck. It's wide enough that the Naga was able to get up and down without any problem, and you are the width of your shoulders is probably narrower than the Naga's body had been. As you get lower and lower, it begins to get darker as the light filtering down between that cultivated seagrass above you begins to dim till it's nothing more than this little faint glimmer high above you, with no dark vision as you get towards.
I have dark vision goggles.
That's right. You have your vision.
I have
my
swimming goggles.
Yes. So you flip your night vision goggles on, and you descend down. And eventually you get to the bottom. You see the floor of this stone shaft is maybe 10 feet wide at its base. You see there's some kind of scattered bones around the silty floor of this space. And one wall you see in the sort of hazy, monotone, flat vision through your goggles is not natural stone, but appears to be the structure that the spire of which is just sticking up above the floor. So whatever this structure was, it seems to have its base here, and has been buried by untold amount of just stuff sweeping down off the mountains, burying it, until only that peaked statuary on the top is visible. There is a fairly sizable breach in the worked stone wall, allowing you the ability to kind of see into an open chamber inside this structure. You can just kind of make out the murky walls and some of the details that there are some objects in here, but you can't really see from outside the details of the chamber.
I'm swimming on in.
Okay.
I'm looking for our good buddy the Naga.
You swim in. Make
Or-
an investigation check for me.
Or his remnants. Hey, how about a natural 20 plus 4?
Very nice. You see everything that there is to see in here. Walter, you swim in, and you are scanning the chamber. You notice the chamber is vaguely circular. And design-wise, it seems pretty simple. There's not a lot of, like... either there is never was, or what is left is not a lot of, like, fancy archways and anything like that. It's kind of just a sort of a simple chambered room. There are some, like, support pillars you see positioned through this. The center of the room has the most prominent feature that catches your eye. It is a circular, slightly raised plinth, about 7-8 feet in diameter. So it encompasses, like, most of the center of this space. And atop of it is another humanoid figure statuary. Much like the one above, this one has been eroded and corroded over time. It is, like, heavily caked with algae and moss and calcification. But it bears a very sort of a faint, it almost looks angelic in form. You can kind of see that it's got a head and a torso, shoulders, 2 arms that are sort of outstretched, cupping this pearlescent orb in its hands. And the lower half of it appears to be, like, almost like robed. And it has these 2, they're not much more than these sort of, like, misshapen nubs at this point, but it has what definitely look like they were 2, like, wings that had been extending off of its back. And you see on the floor, encircling this statuary, there is runage written in what you recognize as having similarities to Invarian. You also see, I got sidetracked on this. You also see floating off sort of to the side, kind of against one wall, pinned directly into the stone wall by this, like, massive, jagged, gnarled piece of wood. In several places is the clearly dead corpse of Greg.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Greg. So what do the characters mean anything in the runage?
Yes.
Or do they?
They do.
Okay.
You approach.
Notepad. Wait, this one. Notes. Got it.
You approach, and you read this inscription, and it says, "We keep the truth. We preserve the record. The time will come for those who persevere. We are the children of the banished god. An end to an unjust perdition and the dawn of a better world. For the good of all."
I'm gonna touch it.
Touch the orb?
Yeah.
You touch the orb. Something in the back of your head had been, like, nagging at you that, like, this orb was looking to be touched since you came in here. And sure enough, you place your hand on it. And you reach out, and as soon as your hand makes contact with that orb, a pulse streaks through your body as if you have been, like, electrified. Every muscle, like, contracts outside of your uncontrollably. Your hand, you feel, is, like, fixed to the orb, and you cannot move your limbs to try and pull yourself away from it as you begin to, like, convulse. Everything around you blinks out of existence. You feel yourself lose consciousness. And your mind is then filled with a swirling miasma of sights and sounds and colors and sensations as a massive amount of information is, like, dumped into your consciousness. it is far too much in one shot for your mind to make any sense of. So it just sort of, it like washes over you in this massive tidal wave of thought. As you bear witness to all of this, one sort of overarching concept seems to emerge from the chaos of all of this disparate information that is being transferred into your mind by this statuary. As if the sum of the information that is being thrust into you collects into this sort of single thesis concept. And that concept that sort of surfaces in your mind is that the world, this world, has been doomed. But it's not yet too late for it to be saved. On the surface,
oh boy.
Walter swam down about 35 minutes ago at this point. And has not resurfaced.
Alar's downing a potion and he's diving into the water. Last thing he says before he dives in, it's been too long.
All right, so Alar dives into the water. Brahmin and Osrius, what are you guys doing, if anything?
I guess I'll go. Shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go too.
All right, so Osrius, you chug your water-breathing potion. You jump into the water after Alar, and you guys begin to swim out towards the center. You guys descend following that same path that Walter had taken. You swim down and you enter into this chamber, and you see Walter's limp form just sort of floating inert in front of this statue with this sort of orb held in front of it. The orb is pitch black.
Okay.
I'm going to point to Osrius and point to Walter's body and, mime. You grab him, take him up.
Fine.
I'm going to try and cast Mage Hand and see if I can move the orb with it.
You find that it is firmly rooted into this statue and does not appear to be like liftable by like grabbing.
All right, I'm gonna be stupid. I'm gonna touch the orb.
You reach forward and touch the orb.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull it free.
Make a strength check.
Ooh, this sounds like something I could do.
That is a whole
Somebody
whopping
say-
9.
Did somebody
You,
say
like-
strength check?
You wrench at it. A bunch of like bubbles escape your clenched teeth, but it remains resolutely attached to that statue.
It's going to occur to me. I have a stone Goliath with me. I'm going to look back and see if Osrius has left yet, and if he hasn't, get his attention and point the orb and trade places with him, basically.
Well, as you're like dragging Walter out by his underoos, and you see Alar like waves you down.
Okay. I'll hand Walter over.
Okay.
Just being like this, and then I'll go to the orb and try to pull it out myself.
Alrighty.
Okay. Is that just a straight like D20 plus modifier?
Like an athletics.
There's a strength check button. Like if you press the on D&D Beyond, if you press where it says strength, where your minus or plus is.
Yeah.
You just
No,
roll
that's
it.
a saving throw as well, but it would be the same.
No, saving throws are different. You have proficiency in one of them. But yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the check is if you click on the
Oh, yeah.
icon or on the top row,
yeah.
the saving throws are in the saving throw box.
Yeah.
That's an 8.
Remember, you have advantage.
He's
By
not
Or is that
raging.
when you're
He's not
raging?
currently
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like pull on this thing. You're pretty sure that like it's not coming off of here
At all?
didn't budge when you pulled on it.
Right. Can I pull it one more time?
Yes, you can pull it one more time.
Okay. All right. What about 16?
With a 16, you plant your foot on like the torso of the statue and like wrench backwards, and the orb doesn't come out of the hands, but the hands break off the statue. So you come
It'll
away
work.
with this like bowling ball sized orb with these two cupped hands, like severed hands attached to one side of it.
Okay. I'm gonna swim up to the surface with it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull Walter out.
Yeah, you're like dragging Walter. Takes you a little bit of time to kind of like haul his limp form up from the depths and kind of drag him out onto the beach. Osrius comes up shortly behind you. He like has this orb in his hand. As you guys lay him down on the ground, you guys see that leaking from the corners of Walter's eyes, almost like they were like tears, is this thick black ooze that just leaks from the corners of his eyes and like down the sides of his face.
I'm going to use that flax that was holding the water breathing potion and try and gather a little bit of it.
Okay, yeah, you can easily do that. So you like scoop some of that up, and you guys see that this is the case. Walter appears to be unconscious at the moment, and he has this like gunk dripping from his eyes. Walter, you touched the orb. You had this vision. Everything went black for a while, and then somewhere in your unconscious mind, your brain kind of starts like worrying at the knot of information that has been like dumped into you and starting to try and like parse things out. And like a very convoluted lucid dream, you begin to sort of parse bits of this information. You gather this concept of some great eternal conflict taking place on a scale unimaginable to mortal minds, a cosmic level upheaval that shook the very foundations of reality across all the planes of the multiverse eons ago. And in this conflict, you begin to get this sense of a singular entity, something that your mind can only comprehend as a god. And the details are fuzzy and convoluted, and you don't understand anything surrounding this entity, save for the fact that it was cast far, far into the outer reaches of existence, far beyond the ability to ever return. You begin to piece together that whatever this statue was, whatever the information that it was trying to parse, this reliquary was meant to be the passing of the torch of some form of information that has something to do with this being, this entity, and something to do with an attempt to rescue it. And that through this attempt, the world can be saved. But there is something else laced into this knowledge, as if the very knowing of it itself is tainted. Knowing this information, having it in your mind, having it made contact with your soul, is beginning to devour you from within. You feel yourself being pulled into this dark, bottomless void from which there will be no escape, and the only sentiment that you will have remaining, the only drive that this will leave you with, is the desire to consume. And as you struggle futilely against it, you feel yourself beginning to slip into darkness, and then as if a hand, vice-like, grabbed onto your shoulder, you feel as if your mind, your consciousness, is pulled up, as if hauled from a great distance. You find yourself once again in that strange chamber, that darkened space, the archway to the back, where another piece of the chamber exists, and a hunched figure sits just out of your view, and you find yourself staring face to face, once again, with Maka. And she is looking at you with a considerable amount of concern, and she says, "Oh, Walter, what have you done?"
There's... I had to tell you something. The shadows grow stronger than we expected. We're off book. And I'll explain to her about Fidget.
She takes this in stride. And she says, "I understand. But we have more pressing matters. What did you touch? What did you do?"
The orb, there's an inscription around it saying they keep the truth, we preserve the record. The time will come for those who persevere. Children of a banished god.
She grimaces as you mention the banished god. And she says, "You found one of their reliquaries." Shakes her head. "You should not have touched it." She says, "I cannot explain to you in full, but the entity that you have brushed against, the information that has been imparted upon you, is information intended for the followers of the very ones that we seek to stop, not from saving the world, but from destroying it. The information itself, to know of this one, is to be cursed. She closes her eyes, and she's quiet for a while. And when she reopens them, she looks paler, somehow diminished. And she says, "I can safeguard you from this for a time. But understand, those who make contact with this information, most of them are destroyed." She peers at you and she says, "You have already seen the result of knowing what is now locked in your head, Walter Grey. The creature that you fought beneath the dwarven tomb outside of the town of Stone Mill in the beginning of all this. That is the fate that awaits you. She says, I will stall for now. But eventually, it will be up to you to fight this off. Or you will be doomed, and with you, likely all of the world.
Oh boy. Well, I had far more questions if I ever found myself here again, but
He says,
doesn't seem like it's the time.
Our time grows short. I can keep you here a little while longer, but your friends will be reviving you shortly. They've already brought you out of the water. Ask now if you have anything, and I will answer what I can.
Do I need to be concerned about Mox?
She says, that will very much depend on the course of actions that unfold. I believe that his self-interest rises above all other aspects of his personality. As long as there is benefit in it for him, he will not impose himself in the way of progress. I know that he will not be on the side of those that we face. Our enemies are the same. That, at least, I can guarantee is true. She says, elsewise, if you can ensure that he perceives any course of action that you wish to take as ultimately to his own benefit as well, I believe he will always remain an ally.
Well, until next time.
She kind of nods, and she says, if what Adrian has sent you to tell me is true, that means things are going to accelerate. I would be prepared for some sort of calamity soon, though I cannot say what form it might take. There is a rattle of creaking intake of breath from behind Maka as the other figure shifts. Maka turns sharply and begins to make sort of a soothing gesture, but you hear this. I am part of this. I will speak to him. Seeming powerless to stop this other figure, who doesn't step out into the light but speaks to you from the shadow. It says, I do not care for these games. Adrian can dance as his puppet all he wants. He killed our sister. He should stay where he is locked forever, regardless of what it means for this world. Maka says, Nemain, please. And she says, silence. And you feel the attention returns to you. And the other individual that Maka referred to as Nemain says, Artanis. They seek to unleash him once more. Ask your orc. And you wake up. The three are standing over you: Alar, Brahm, Osiris.
Oh, thank the gods. You're alive.
Want some crawfish, Jimmy?
Well,
We get crawfish!
I didn't want to go there again, but just like wipe his eyes and see the goo.
What do you mean go there again? Where did you go?
It's a long story.
I think we got time.
I
I got about half an hour. Oh, stream jokes.
Oh boy.
What did you see?
The
Come on, what did you see?
ones who've looked over me for some time, and the orb was a mistake.
What, you mean this orb?
I will immediately like shovel it away and then just like move away from it.
Well, that was rude. That's
yeah,
rude.
No,
I
for
pick it
that.
back.
Actually, you know what? Let's put that anywhere far deep away from everything. Actually, I know just the place. There's a recently collapsed tunnel.
No. I think we're gonna
Okay.
keep this.
Slow down. The ones that you spoke to before. You spoke with them again?
Yeah, no. Usually it's just the one that talks, but the second one, older, more angry, and I'll point at Abramus. Says, she said to ask about Artanis. They want to unleash him.
Who now?
Well, I thought Artanis was a mortal. He was the creator of this order.
I'm gonna be real honest. I was a part of that order, and I was pretty sure that guy was made up. So
Actually, should I try to parse that out? Like, would he be able to parse that, like, Artanis and possibly this banned deity are possibly the same thing? That's kind of like the gist, the vibe I'm getting. But
you honestly, you don't. You actually don't get the sense that they are referring that this deity that you read this inscription of, and Artanis that Nemain spoke of are the same.
Okay.
You definitely think that there is a correlation. They have something to do with one another. You definitely got that vibe from them. But the way that Maka was speaking about all of this, and the kind of what Nemain had said made it seem more like they are like different parts of sort of the same overall scheme that's taking place.
Gotcha. Related note. I think. I would point to the orb. That was a repository about the. You remember those crazy guys back in Voland?
you're gonna have to be more specific.
The crazy
ones-
chains. Crazy chains.
You mean the ones directed by that nobleman, the ones that killed Kel?
Yes, among others. Lots of crazy people. There. They were. What is their name? What were they called? I don't remember.
Ricky.
I am blanking.
I don't know.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
or more. Probably more than a year ago at this point.
It was because we were still in person.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
still in person.
Two-year anniversary coming up real soon.
Very soon.
April 2nd. Set your calendars.
So anyway, we've met those cultists before. In the caves, the first monster I removed the noggin off of found one of these apparently. So clock's a ticking.
You mean by touching that thing, you're going to turn into that thing? One of those creatures?
She offered to help to suppress it. I think I have to fight it myself. I mean, resist the transformation, but yeah.
Okay. As soon as we can finish our business with the Ordum, we get back. We talk with the three wizards. They might be able to help. Besides, we're part of the Ordinum Libri now. Maybe they'll know something that might be able to help or the effect.
Might help. Yeah.
It's better than nothing. That's more than we had.
If I can resist this, I can know what those who oppose us are pursuing. It might help in a way. I've made worse deals.
But what would our tenant... Wait.
I don't... Yeah.
No, wait. Ah, crap. You're trying to bring about the end. The end of everything, right?
That's what I vaguely remember the crazies in town.
The cultists, you will remember,
they want to go to the void or something.
The name of the cult is the Precipice of Oblivion cult.
That's the one.
The cultists themselves refer to themselves as penitent ones. They particularly seem to believe that they have some mixed signaling in their ideology, but they seem to have believed that the gods had abandoned the mortal realm. And they had done so because of the wickedness and the evil of mortals. And there was some where there was some mixed ideology that you gathered during your investigation. Some of the members of this cult seem to believe that by committing essentially acts of punishment, self-punishment of themselves, so they wore those spiked chains around themselves, and by punishing other sinners, basically, they might offer like penance enough to win back the mercy of the gods and have them return to Egeria. While others seemed to believe that the collective evil of mankind was such that there was no further hope, and they thus divulged or descended into essentially like madness and hedonism and all manner of like any type of evil that might be committed, in the hopes of essentially like creating and feeding what they referred to as a void god. That is wildly different than the message on that statuary down there.
Yeah.
So you're not sure how all these things relate to each other.
Well, I guess I'll have to figure out how to work through this / figure out the mechanics behind not turning into a Nothic or whatever it is.
All right. Well, I got something now.
That was an out-of-character comment, not an in-character comment.
Not the Nothic is not what they would have been referring to. Mostly face would have been what.
Oh, mostly face.
What they were referring to.
Oh well, that's very different. I thought it was. Oh, that's worse.
Well, hopefully this will take your mind off of a possible grisly fate.
I'd like to keep my mind on reality as much as possible right now.
Well, here's some reality. The hag had a book. I can't read it. It didn't occur to me to cast comprehend languages yet. But
hey, look. If it's got curses in it, what's the worst that could possibly happen? I'm pretty sure I'm bleeding ichor at this point. So
famous last words.
Doesn't appear to be any magic on it, so
well,
probably safe.
Sure,
probably.
I'll give a little flip through and read through Granny Swolsif's
Granny Swolsiphine's book. You open up the book, you begin to flip through pages, and you begin to read. And you
this
read.
This is Hag Erotica. I do not want to read anymore.
No, what you read Monday, 5 a.m., 5 mile run, breakfast, 3 egg whites, protein pancakes, pre-workout shake. You read upper body and core blaster workout. A good deal of this book does appear to be her diet and pump journal, detailing her workout routine. The majority of the book you glean seems to be. If you wanted to get real shredded up, there's probably some good info in here. But otherwise, you can make me an Arcana check with your Eyes of the Runekeeper.
All right, let's give that a shot.
Make sure to check in there for
10.
Make sure to check in there for Griswanda, Grisnuts.
I got a 10, so
10. Interspersed in between. So the book is organized in no particular fashion. It comes off to you as the ramblings of a person whose brain has been utterly addled by possibly centuries of dark magics and evil and questionable supplements taken multiple times a day.
Never order from Wish.com, people.
Yeah. But there is absolutely some information in here that you could probably parse out into usable recipes to create various potions. The water-breathing potion among them is one you could probably replicate with enough time studying this, as well as a handful of other things. What you, with Osrius's prompting to search for mention of a Griswanda, you find that this hag has maintained periodic correspondence with what you gauge to be probably other hags, a pair of them. You're not sure. You can't necessarily parse from the language in the writing whether or not the other hags are actually related, whether they're actually sisters, or if this is just sort of a weird caveat of hag culture. But you find mention of this Griswanda as another one of these hags, and the third one is named Halfhilder, which is HALFHILDR, Halfhilder. Seem to be two more hags that are you're not sure where they are based on anything that you find in this book. You just find sort of notes are written on something like received a letter from Halfhilder today. has some interesting thoughts on the doing eccentric bicep curls before you try to lift heavy.
It's
stuff like
a
that.
mail order exercise book.
Yeah.
Hag.
So
Oh god, you mean there's more swole hags?
You get the impression that there's at least 2 other hags out there in the world somewhere that this individual hag was communicating with. And based on what Osrius overheard, it sounds like her last act was to command her hut to go and seek out one of these other hags.
I'm gonna add this book to my inventory and say it's got like researchable potions.
Sure.
I am proficient in herbalism kit.
Yep.
So I will definitely try to make use of this. Do I have an herbalism? I don't yet. Yeah, I do. I have an herbalism kit. Yep.
I was about to say, do you?
Yep. I'll be the new hag.
Alrighty. Well, I think I assume you guys are heading back to Diamond Vale at this point.
Yeah. I'll try to bring up a way to bring Josephine's corpse back as well, so we can.
It's not that difficult to rig a travois or something to drag her with.
It should be easy.
How's about Tensor's floating disc?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just floating disc her corpse back.
I could also
that works too.
I could also just throw her on my shoulder. That's also another thing.
I mean, she smells pretty awful. I'd go for the floating disc.
I feel like I smell pretty awful.
Yeah, but we like you.
Well, that's nice.
You have more of an earthy tone with just a hint of peat.
That's fine.
Yeah, she had more of a rotten flesh tone with a hint of feet, so that was not ideal.
Smells like
all right.
Burnt blood feet wrapped in leathery bacon.
She definitely smelled like protein farts and death.
What's the difference?
You guys easily can bring the corpse of the hag back to Diamond Vale with you. And you guys return there. You are sort of summarily a second time greeted as heroes. They burn the hag's corpse on a massive pyre that they create in the center of town. And
do not get downwind of the.
I'm
got
gonna
downwind of the fire.
secretly meet with the mayor and
secretly meet with the mayor.
The overseer
with
Overseer Garvey, yeah,
and say, is there anything any deep dark hole we could throw this into, and gesture towards the orb.
He kind of looks at it, and for a moment you get the sense that he's his instinct is to ask what it is, and then he thinks better of it. And he says, if anyone is suited to that task, I would imagine it would be someone of your family. I assume somewhere deep within the confines of Mine 1 would prevent it from ever being accidentally uncovered by someone in this town not destined to find it.
I was supposed to say, Walter, don't you dig holes?
No hole I can dig in my lifetime will be deep enough to bury this.
He says, can you destroy it? Scatter it to the winds?
We haven't tried wrecking it yet.
I'm sorry, my first impulse is to dig. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Let's take this out of town just in case there's a reaction.
Yeah, you take it. You head outside of town a couple of miles. You have the orb there. You're sort of out in a secluded area. And what are you trying?
I'm gonna
office-based fax machine.
I was gonna motion everybody back, and I was gonna break out Plan C.
Okay, so you put it on the ground. You bring a crowbar out,
and I'll take a swing, see if it cracks it.
All right, make an athletics check.
Me and my 0 athletics. That's a whole whopping 8.
You like
if you're trying to break something.
wang the crowbar into the orb, and it sort of like reverberates in your hand.
Okay.
Can I hit it?
Yeah, you definitely can.
While my hand is still shaking, I hold out the crowbar to you.
That was a 1. That was a nat 1.
I like how that's still an 8.
It's an 8.
You
Yeah, because I have
swing
7.
the crowbar, and it bends in half over this orb.
Oh,
I'm gonna shovel attack this thing.
here you go, Aloy. Sorry about
Uh,
that.
I'm just gonna
A little
shovel
bit. I'm
attack
gonna bend
this
it back and hand it to you.
just straight up.
Straightens it back out and hands it to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
15 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits. It's an orb. Doesn't have a great armor class.
It's an orc.
I'll just try to just hit it repeatedly with a shovel for force damage.
Are we going
have you shillelied your shovel during this process?
I have shillelied my
Okay.
shovel, yes.
Then what I will say is, with your shillelied shovel, it takes you a while, but you like bang, 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 bang. Eventually, you sort of like turn the shovel sideways, and so you're not hitting it with the flat, but you're hitting it with like the blade of the shovel, and you hear like a and you see like a crack begins to form around the surface, and eventually you manage to like hit it, and like a wedge drives through, and the orb just cracks in half like an egg.
Throw one half off a cliff, and throw the other half in a mine.
Easy
Maybe they'll never
enough.
be joined again.
You separate these. You throw one of them into Mordor, and you.
I'll
put the
tell
other one
Walter
in the mine.
Jr. to tell the story to never go into this one area under any circumstance, and that it should be
Only gonna make
guarded.
people want to go to that area.
Well, only the family knows about that, and I'll tell them
Hey,
exactly.
whatever you do, don't go to that place.
You
go to that
guys
place now.
hide it behind. You guys hide it behind a like a crate that's just labeled like Gray Family Mustache Wax Reserve, and you're pretty sure nobody's ever gonna disturb
They put it in the giant tree that's now behind their house.
it.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, with that, I think your business in Diamond Vale is probably at its conclusion. Jan Orville kind of tracks you guys down as you're sort of like returning to catch up with you and sort of see like what the plan is going to be next, as you make preparations for your next move.
Okay.
Oh,
What city was our next job in?
You guys are heading to Volrenheim, which is
Okay.
east in Valon.
That's the main city, and that's where we're dropping her off.
Nistrin is
anyway,
like the biggest main city. Volrenheim is one of the other like main. It's about the same size as Odgercolm, where you were before.
right? Okay. I don't remember which location Moxham is in. if any.
Nistrin is where Moxham is
Okay.
headquartered.
It's
Braun,
the other direction.
you are from Volrenheim. I mean, obviously not originally, but like Volrenheim is where you spent your youth.
Mm.
So you know some people.
Tune in next week to hear a lot of people talking like this.
Tune in, that's
Oh, boy.
right. Tune in next week for New York City fantasy version. Forget about
God.
it.
Jesus.
at least the pizza will be good.
The PA, they go, oh man,
They
they
go-
got the water. You
The
wouldn't
whole
even-
city's full of it.
You wouldn't even believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Like
Oh.
like of the water, or just full of it.
both.
Both.
Can we just end the stream now? Can we just continue?
Well, that's Curtis's line.
I'm over it.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Well, so yeah.
Can't wait till next week where everybody has to talk that accent to fit in.
You. You
all
guys-
right, I'll talk that way.
Hey, you guys have
Should be fine.
obtained some information unfortunately, via Walter having saddled himself with another horrible affliction threatening his well-being in life.
What else is new?
What else is
But
new?
some new information. Apparently, you have learned of ancient reliquaries, apparently in more than one place around the world, that impart some sort of lost knowledge to anyone who comes across it and touches it, but afflicts them with a terrible curse at the same time. You have learned of some sort of a movement to either save the world or end it, depending on who you talk to and who you believe. You have learned that somehow there is an entity out there in the darkness known as the Banished God. And you know that Artanis, a figure that until this last piece of information, even Brahm thought was all but a myth, exists as well and is embroiled in this whole affair. Armed with all of that information, having done a great service to the town of Diamond Vale, you guys head on your way, making for Volrenheim, where you will hopefully conduct some run-of-the-mill business for the Ordinum Librae, retrieving a tome and bringing it back to Terra Libra.
Gonna be that easy.
It's probably gonna be that easy, and nothing will have gone wrong.
Yeah.
How many curses did you end up with at the end of the campaign? Well, I stopped counting after the 15th. So.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, including a few that he just invented.
That's right. Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here on Proficiency Bonus for Delve Requisite, where we will be visiting the pirates aboard the deck of the Grimm's Folly, the other half of our campaign, to see what they are up to, as they have just set sail for the first time on their very own ship. The week after that, we will be back here with the next episode of the Fool's Errant's adventure as they reach the Volandan city of Volrenheim. And, of course, do all of the internet things. Subscribe, follow, find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on everything, I believe, except TikTok at this point, because we are all old and sad and can't figure it out. But you can follow us everywhere else. Of course, thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. We encourage you to honor them with your patronage if you have some money to spend and some need for some dice or something. We'll be back next week. So until then, I will leave you with this. When you are delving into the shadowy, water-filled depths of an ancient, spooky ruin that had been guarded for millennia by a water naga named Old Greg, that had been battled over by said naga and an evil hag, perhaps take more than 2 seconds to consider whether you want to touch the orb. In fact, I think rule of thumb seems like a good generic rule to follow is always give proper consideration to your course of action before touching orbs in general. And don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.